This is a reading for you. It is not attached to a zodiac sign nor a timeline. The intention is, if you come across this reading, it should benefit you in some way. That being said, let's get started. I've drawn a Celtic cross spread for you here. It seems like, okay, I like this reading. It starts off, I feel like there's a sense of being ill at ease or stressed, or even a touch of defensiveness. There's almost a sense of waiting or anticipation, assessing the value of something. There also might be a few people involved in all this. It could possibly be a family dynamic, but also I kind of get this idea of doing what you can to defend your position in life, maybe. Being aware of who you interact with, and also maybe not being afraid to take chances or go after opportunities, which that is how you assure your success. Having a willingness, you know. It can be discouraging at times because that doesn't mean that you're always going to see results. But it's almost like you forget about something and then it kind of comes together. Like, say you sent in an application, but it was months ago, and then you don't, hear from them for like however long, and you just kind of forget about it, right? But then one day they contact you. It feels like something like that, but maybe even, tarot cards are so dramatic, so it kind of makes it all feel very massive in a lot of ways. Because looking at this reading, and maybe it is, I don't want to say it isn't, because, people do all kinds of things. So, because this suggests that it's all of a sudden sort of this door opening to you right at a point of difficulty, maybe. It has a very powerful feeling to it coming from the outside source, like whoever would be reaching out kind of thing. They seem to be very driven, and it kind of has a heavy energy to it. It could almost be like intimidating or something. But there's assured success with this. Because ahead of you, we get the Tower, but it brings, it's like the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and then, but it's a good Tower because it's like a shift into all of this. Which to me, with the way the cards all lay out, it just seems like sort of a surprise win almost, or just out of nowhere, certain things kind of come together. It could be a person too, because the second message feels more personal. It could be a person who reaches out, like maybe someone you haven't heard from in a long time even. But this other reading has sort of a different tone, or this other spread, I should say. I don't know if there's a debate in your relationships, or I feel like it's maybe outside of you in some way. Maybe someone, this could be a whole different scenario even. For one, I feel like if there's been any sort of deceptive or manipulative behaviors, it's almost like that's sort of getting sorted out. Trying to sort of smooth out your edges even. You could, I wouldn't be surprised if you find out certain things, or if there's some kind of issue, like, I don't want to turn it into a whole like third party reading or something like that, because I mean, but that is sort of what it feels like in some ways, because it just seems like there's some sort of conflict. Mind you, it does seem like it's being resolved basically, or it's going to be. Like, I mean, your outcome is the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Clarify. This could be someone who's like younger than you. Yeah, I would say, you know, maybe don't make assumptions if you have a tendency to like jump to conclusions. Also, I feel like something could be healing, but there does seem to be this other aspect or other person to it that is maybe like looking in some kind of way. You know, like obviously maybe like social media, or if you're involved, I don't know. There's sort of a sense of investigating or just watching it, but it I don't know what that is, like what that difficult or borderline even like a toxic element to it. I don't know where that's coming in, but it seems to be resolved and the outcome looks good. So, you know, if you're aware of it, then you're probably aware of how it's resolving, you know. If this reading is resonating, do feel free to like and subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. And there is a lot of you don't watch to the end, so there is an extended version of this reading and extra content on my Patreon, and I do take personal readings. All that can be accessed in the description below. I feel like you know, this gives me the impression of sort of, you know, maybe you found a lot of your confidence, or you sort of like embarked upon an adventure, or you sent a communication, or again, this sort of story of something going, I want to say better than you think, even because in your head, this seems dead, done, and over with. You've made your choice. You've moved that far, and you know, there is justice in the Fool ahead of you, and I feel like there may be more looking into this than you think. If you know, I don't know if it's maybe something you're hoping for or something you're almost not even aware of, because it's almost like you're focused on something else completely, but it is happening. You have the Ace of Cups. So and that's clarifying the Fool and Justice. So some inspiration, idea, some moment of like fresh rebirth energy, you know? I don't know, it's almost like you're holding on. There's really a difficulty that you seem to be going through, right? But it definitely, it seems to resolve. Or it's not really a difficulty, it's just, it's sort of very much a leveling up or something. Because it doesn't imply like struggle, but it's an upgrade in the sense that even if you weren't struggling, it would be sort of like a relief or an upgrade, you know? Your message here, your advice is very much to address your fear, address your anxiety, maybe lack of rest even. It's sort of saying to fix your internal state and your external state comes to life. It's almost like you can approach this two ways. You can attract anxiety and stress and sort of lack of trust and things like that, or information, communication, passion, abundance, like growth, that kind of thing. That seems very noted here, like a point of healing, or like even trusting yourself, trusting how you feel about things, or trusting how you see things. Clarify the High Priestess. I feel like you can almost feel something coming even, and I don't normally say stuff like that in readings, but this whole spread is about, it's almost like when you balance out that internal state, everything kind of follows. Maybe not at once, maybe not in the sense of like some dramatic overnight change or something, but it begins this process of allowing everything to come to you and allowing it to flow organically. It takes away the restriction. I feel like you're operating in restriction, and it's time and will be very beneficial to you to break free from that, whatever that may be. It feels linked to, you know, internal habits mostly. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you found it helpful. I'm going to take it a bit further on the extended version, again, available on my Patreon, which is available in the description below. Feel free to book a personal reading. All of my personal readings are currently on sale. You can access that through my website. Check out my artwork, check out my TikTok, my Instagram, all that stuff. And have a great night.